Angry Guy here, and artificial intelligence predicts that feminism will lead humanity to extinction. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, please help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Now let's begin. Artificial intelligence predicts that feminism will lead humanity to extinction. Before we jump into this prediction, we need to understand why it made this prediction. We're going to be talking about the Mouse Utopia experiment. Let's go ahead and get updated so that we understand what the Mouse Utopia experiment actually was.
This was the Rat Utopia experiment. In 1960, John Calhoun built a utopia for rats. There was unlimited food and small condos for every rat. This was a picture of how it looked like. In the beginning, everything was going very well. The rats were eating and they were reproducing, and sometimes at a very astronomical rate. The place soon became extremely overcrowded, and moral degeneracy begun. Some rat mothers abandoned their babies on the streets and left them there. Some rats also started excluding other rats and built a place called the Beautiful Ones. And over there, only a couple of male rats were there and a lot of female rats. With time, there was extreme overcrowding and violence increased as overcrowding increased. Rats started beating each other up and killing each other. The paradise soon became a battleground and violence and riots emerged. The only ones who were spared were people living in the Beautiful Ones, but everyone down there was fighting and killing each other. At the end of the experiment, Calhoun said that this was an experiment to show how urban environments can cause moral degeneracy. But do you agree with the results of this experiment, or was this just exclusive to rats?
So, guys, here's what it's interesting. With the Beautiful Ones were a group of mice that decided to withdraw from all social interaction. They withdrew from society. They stopped trying to mate. They just focused on, eating, sleeping, pooping, and keeping their coats beautiful. They had no scars, no bites, and they were not actually very bright, intelligent either, because they didn't even work on themselves. They were just basically walking away from the utopia and doing their own thing. And as you can see, it ended up working out for them as the society declined and collapsed around them. When we look at Grok AI, or Elon AI, as I like to call it, I asked Elon AI to explain 5 points why Western society under feminism is headed towards the results of the Mouse Utopia experiment. And Elon AI was more than happy to break it down for us. So first off is social breakdown. Just like in the Mouse Utopia, where the breakdown of social organization led to the eventual extinction of the population, Western society under feminism might face similar challenges. As traditional gender roles and family structures continue to evolve, it's possible that the social fabric that holds society together could weaken, leading to a decline in social cohesion and cooperation. Now, the second point, decline in birth rates is very important. The Mouse Utopia experiment saw a sharp decline in the birth rate as the mice became increasingly isolated and focused on their own needs. Similarly, in Western society, the focus on individual empowerment and self actualization could lead to a decline in the birth rate as people prioritize their personal goals over starting families. This could have long term consequences for the sustainability of the population. We now have these groups of people known as the Dinks. Dinks are basically dual income, no kids. So these are people who basically are quite capable of having children, but they are foregoing parenthood and instead living their best lives. Rise of the Beautiful Ones. That's number 3. In the Mouse Utopia, a group of male mice became obsessed with grooming and their own appearance, neglecting their roles in the community. In Western society, the emphasis on personal appearance and self care could lead to a similar phenomenon with individuals becoming more focused on their own image and less on contributing to the greater good. Right now, 30 million men have dropped out of the workforce. They're not working, and that is leading to social decline, just to point that out. Isolation of loneliness. As the mice in the mouse utopia became increasingly isolated, they experienced higher levels of stress and anxiety. In Western society, the emphasis on individualism and personal success could lead to a similar increase in isolation and loneliness as people prioritize their own goals over building and maintaining strong social connections. This is a very excellent point, and we're seeing that happening right now. Number 5, unintended consequences. Finally, just as the mouse utopia experiment revealed unforeseen consequences of creating a seemingly perfect environment, Western society under feminism might also face unintended consequences as it strives to create a more equal and just society. It's important to be mindful of these potential pitfalls and work to address them proactively to avoid a dystopian outcome. This came from artificial intelligence. This came from Elon AI. And I mean, guys, this really illustrates that we are not going in the right direction. Society is heading towards a major decline. The experiment really revealed that when all social roles are filled, basically birth rates will collapse. Degeneracy becomes a very normal thing, which is what we're seeing with women in Western society and Sims, and men walk away and focus on themselves and their own happiness. And that's why you have 30 million men that have dropped out of the workforce, are staying home, playing video games, watching television, and getting lots and lots of sleep. I literally had one guy in the comments that said that he had retired from everything. He was like in his 50s, like 53. He basically had retired from everything, and he just works as much as he needs to survive. He's living his best life, enjoying himself, playing games, beating his meat, and that's it. And this is the reality of it right now for most men. They are done with Western society, they're done with relationships. A lot of women actually truly believe that men could not live without women, they could not say no to women, and they're finding out that it's not like that. Men can walk away and stay away 100%. Let's learn a little bit more about the experiment.
In 1968, biologist John Calhoun built a mouse colony where the mice lived in luxury and abundance. It started with 8 mice and grew to over 2,000 by month 19. The mice started to form social hierarchies where the alphas had harems of females. The betas had none and would constantly fight in the center of the colony. Some even tried to mate with the alphas. The alphas would constantly be challenged by rogue mice that invaded their apartments. But that's not all. Because of this, the females started to boot their young early or even attack or abandon them and then jump to a new alpha. The abandoned mice never developed social skills. The females started to isolate and the males would groom themselves all day with no interest in sex. The alphas started to attack their young. Low status mice tried to mate with anyone. The population eventually collapsed to 0.
Yeah, guys, that does not sound good for society. It really does not. And we need to wake up and realize that we are heading into this true dystopia where no one is going to want to live, no one is going to want to have relationships. But the difference is that the limitation in the mouse utopia was space versus in Western society where men are grabbing their passports and they're actively walking away from Western society. They're going overseas to start new lives with Filipino wives, find their peace, purchase property, work remotely, and rebuild and find their dinosaur, because so many young guys have lost their dinosaur, so many men have lost their dinosaur, and they're going overseas and finding that dinosaur once again. That kid that they left behind, that passion, that dream, that spark, they're finding it once again once they leave Western society and aspire for something more, because this is no way to live. We were not born to work. We work to live, but we don't live to work. That's an absolute ridiculous notion. And the only time when people should work continuously is when work is no longer work, and now work is play. When you're doing something that you absolutely love, and you would do it regardless if you're getting paid to do it, that's when you found, your golden ticket, because you can continuously do it. And even if you do get tired, you're going to be addicted to doing it. I make videos constantly. And why do I make videos constantly? Because I'm addicted to doing it. I love doing it. I love putting out content. If I didn't love doing this, I wouldn't be able to do it as actively. And that's why it's kind of hard for me to transition to making a YouTube channel about something else, because I could, but I would not be as passionate about it, and it would show up in my work. Guys, what do you think regarding this? Artificial intelligence has predicted that feminism will lead humanity to extinction. If you're enjoying this content, please help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Let me know what you guys think about everything we discussed here today in the comments, and we'll discuss it there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWAM and walking away. And cheers.